Welcome to my kitchen, guys. So today I am making some delicious breakfast biscuit bombs, bites, whatever you want to call them. They're perfect little handheld breakfast food. You can even freeze them, take them on the go, whatever you want to do. They are delicious and cheesy, and it's 4 ingredients for the most part. So we're talking biscuits, using canned ones because time's essential and just quick and easy. So we're going to use canned biscuits, Velveeta cheese, sausage, and eggs. So these are so good and have quickly become a favorite. My mom actually makes a version with gravy, kind of like a biscuit and gravy bite, which also really good, but I'm also loving these cheesy, just egg sausage, just really simple, less time, and they've become kind of a little favorite around here. What else? I've already got my sausage brown today, so we don't have to wait on that. And I've just got it in here, just trying to get some of that grease out of here. So I've got a paper towel absorbing all of that. And then we've got our pan over here. It's still got some of that sausage grease in here. So I'm going to go ahead and crack a few eggs and then get those cooking. So I don't know about you guys, but breakfast is one of my favorite meals. I don't know why. Let's be honest. I love lunch. I love dinner. And we have lots of eggs. So that might be another reason why I love breakfast. And that other reason I love it is because we actually get a pig butchered every year. Shout out to my brother and sister-in-law who raise pigs. And let me tell you, it's the best bacon you've ever had in your life. And today we're using the sausage from that pig and also super delicious. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the eggs cracked here. So, probably going to make a mess. That's pretty much par for the course around here. Whoops. And we might lose an eggshell or two. It's all right. I do about 8 eggs. It just depends on how many biscuit bites I'm making. Today I think there's 8 biscuits in the can. So not that you have to have an egg per biscuit, but if I were making 10 or if I was doubling the recipe, obviously I would use more eggs. I have lost count. I think I need 2 more. Let me tell you, my chickens have been busy. I'm getting anywhere from 7 to 9 eggs a day. And we eat a lot of eggs, so I appreciate their hard work. But that just means I also get to find more reasons and more recipes to use all of my eggs. Get this scrambled up here. Get them all whisked. All right. I'm going to add another egg because I've got plenty. And I'm going to try to add a bit more eggs into each biscuit here. Now, we're basically making scrambled eggs. So if you wanted to, you could add a little bit of milk or cream into your egg mixture. We're just going to stick with the eggs, and we're just going to try not to get them super dry today. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to bring this over here and show you. I'm going to add that in. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to try not to spill these. And then Now with scrambled eggs, you don't want your heat too high on the stove or else they will cook and they will stick to the pan. So try not to get them too hot. All right, the eggs are cooking and I'm gonna go ahead and add some pepper and a little bit of salt in here. It's probably hard to see because the sun is shining in here. I'm going to turn up my heat just a little bit. And I'm going to just kind of stir them around here. Using a non-stick spatula works best for this, and also a non-stick pan in my opinion. But definitely use whatever works best for you. I don't know about y'all, but it is hot outside today. We are getting to that point in the year where you basically got to be outside in the morning and in the evenings. I went out and did some garden work this morning, and my little pup Sadie and I said we are good for the rest of today, and we're gonna hang out inside for a little bit. So I figured, why not come and make some food? That's the best thing you can do when you're inside, is kill some time and make some food. All right, I'm gonna check on these eggs real quick. They're sticking to the pan just a little bit because I'm being impatient and definitely had my heat turned up way too high. All right, I'm gonna let those cook a little bit and I'll be right back. All right, we are back and we've got some scrambled eggs here, and we've got our sausage, and we've got a barking dog. Sadie. All right, so we've left the barking dog out on the porch to bark at the cows in the pasture field. So love that for us today. All right, as I was saying, we've got our eggs, our sausage, our biscuits, and it's a good thing I opened these when I wasn't on camera because it was super loud and Sadie and I might have lost our eardrums. I've never opened a can of biscuits and it be that loud of a pop. So you should thank me. Thank your ears. All right, so we've also got our cheese, and then depending on how much room you have in the biscuit, we're gonna flatten them out, and if you have to, you can like cut these in half and put a little square in, but I like mine super cheesy, so the more cheese that will fit in the biscuits, the better. And then I also melted some butter, and then we're gonna brush that on there. I've got my oven going at 350 right now, so let's go ahead and start assembling them. And I personally like these are like the flaky butter biscuits, and they're my favorite. I think they just really create a nice little bite. And they're a little sticky today, so hopefully they don't stick to the board or to my hands too bad. As long as we just don't lose any of our biscuit. All right, so I am just pressing those down. And we'll zoom in on that in just a minute. But getting it nice and flat, as you can see. And then if you can get it to actually be more of a circle here without tearing it, that's just going to give you more surface area and you can just stuff more goodies inside of it. All right. Now, I did do a pound of sausage, and I think I have way too many eggs, so probably didn't need those extras. But the good thing is I can combine all of that and make little breakfast like cups, just like combine my sausage, egg, and then add some additions to it for Seth for breakfast, for me for breakfast. Could even pop them in the freezer and pull them out whenever I need them. So it's not going to go to waste. All right. So first things first, there's the biscuit. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to use a half. So you see I've got like the full slice here and it tears pretty easily. So I'm going to use a half of the cheese today. And then I'm going to scoop in some of this egg mixture here. And there's just no rhyme or reason. It's just whatever's going to fit in here. So I think I have enough egg. And then I'm going to get a better spoon here. Just spoon my sausage into the biscuit. Now, you don't want to pack them too full, but also get as much good stuff in there as you can. All right. So it's kind of half and half, at least in this particular instance. I've got about half egg, half sausage, and then you're just going to pinch and bring your sides together. So I'm going to zoom in for you so you can see that. Behind this tower of biscuits here, try not to lose everything. But I'm just going to bring my ends together and then just kind of turn them in, kind of bringing them into the middle. And then kind of bring your edges over a little bit, and then you'll get a nice little biscuit. And then we're going to go ahead and put them on our cookie sheet. All right, so I've got one on the cookie sheet. I realized probably need a bigger cookie sheet. All right, so again, just smushing these down with my hands. It's almost like I'm making pizza, except that we're making biscuit. All right, that one looks pretty good. Do a half a slice of that cheese. Now, feel free to make these your own. If there's a favorite cheese that you like, you could add in peppers and onions. That would be a really good addition. You could substitute sausage and do bacon. I mean, the options are pretty endless. Like I said, my mom likes to do the gravy. So she'll just make like a typical sausage gravy and then put it in her biscuits. So a little more time consuming, but still pretty good. All right, just folding these edges in. Try to get everything packed in there. Hopefully none of my edges come apart. All right, tune that in. And then just kind of rolling it around with my hands a little bit. And then we got a nice little biscuit ball again. All right, and I'm going to do that 6 more times. All right, well, I saved you all from having to watch me just assemble all those. So now I'm on my last one. And we're almost ready to get these popped into the oven. Add a little bit more sausage to that one. I mean, I was just sitting here thinking about how you could top these, sprinkle some cheese on top. You could put some everything bagel seasoning. Really make these your own and whatever flavors that you and your family love. All right. So we've got all 8 of them here on the cookie sheet. And then I'm going to take this butter and we're going to give each one a nice little coat of butter on top. All right, each one of these is getting nice and buttered up here. Give it a nice little brown color when it goes in. It comes out of the oven, I guess. And then these are going to be so good. I love that you can just stick these in the freezer after they're baked too, and then heat them up in the air fryer in the morning. You could also heat them up in the microwave. They just wouldn't have that little like crunch, biscuit crunch on them. Just be a little bit softer. All right, so I've got all that butter on there, and then we're gonna go ahead and stick them in the oven. All right, so I just took these out of the oven, and as you can see, I've got a nice brown bottom, and then getting nice and gold on top. And then what I do when I take them out of the oven is go ahead and take that melted butter and we're gonna brush it on top again. Zoom in. My butter that was in my bowl is kind of solidifying here, but these biscuits are nice and hot, so it's just melting on them perfectly. My oven fan is a little loud in the back, so hopefully that kicks off here soon, and hopefully is not too loud in the background here. All right. And I obviously made way too much egg and sausage, but you're gonna have leftovers. You're definitely gonna have leftover sausage unless you're making more than 8. But as you can see, these things are huge, and 8 is plenty for 2 people. Actually, way more than 2 people need. But the great thing is you can freeze them. But I went ahead, I cooked some onion, pepper, and shredded some cheese, and added my sausage and egg in there. And then these are just great little breakfast scrambles to have during the week. So making more than one meal, which is, I love. Whenever I can reuse some leftovers and help knock out breakfast for the week, I love that. All right. I think we might have to dig into these. Hopefully they're not too hot, but we will. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see the melty cheese on these. All right. Moment of truth. And these suckers are hot. Whew. My goodness. Look at that. That looks like a good bite of food right there. All right. I mean, I have to taste test this. I hopefully will not burn my mouth, but let's go ahead and give it a little bite. It's really good. There's something about just being able to hold your breakfast in 2 hands, no forks. You don't even need a plate. This is really good. Yeah. No notes. This is delicious. And I will for sure be eating at least 1, maybe 2 for dinner. I don't know. You guys need to make these. That's all I can say. I mean, look at this. Flaky, cheesy. It's good breakfast food right here. Well, I've almost finished my first one here. And as you can see, I got a second one. But you guys are going to love this. I hope you will try it. Save it. Make it next weekend for breakfast. I think it's Memorial Day next weekend. So this is the perfect breakfast to feed a crowd. Because who doesn't love eating breakfast in the palm of your hand? I hope you guys love it. If you do, let me know. And I'll see you the next time around. Bye.